Welcome to Critical V, and I'm your host Vasan Kahandawala, and we're going to be talking about movies, games, and so much more from the world of pop culture. I'll be giving you my reviews on whether to watch, play, or enjoy, and it's up to you to decide whether you agree with me or not. And let's begin with our first review, which is the reboot of Hellboy. Now, this review is going to be a bit challenging because while I'm a hardcore comic fan and a fan of the original Hellboy comics and BPRD, I'm also a big fan of Guillermo del Toro's version or take of the story in both the original Hellboy and its sequel, The Golden Army. Now, Golden Army, I'm not going to talk much about it because some of you might enjoy it, but I didn't. But the original Hellboy that came out back in 2004 was an epic movie. However, I found a few issues because Del Toro took a few creative liberties to set his movie apart from the books, whereas this movie sticks faithfully to the comic content, and that makes a big difference. Yes, there's been a lot of bashing from critics, and I can understand why. But let's delve deeper into the movie and see what worked and what didn't. So let's start with the pros. Now, let me begin by saying if you're a fan of the Del Toro movies, you might have a lot of problems with this one because it sticks with canon, it sticks with the comics, and there's a big difference in the visualization between the Hellboy reboot and the Hellboy of 2004 as well as the Golden Army of 2008. So I'm going to begin the pros by saying that I was very happy.
Some dads get their kids Legos.
From a comic book fan's perspective, Hellboy is actually a wonderfully made film. Yes, the budget shows, it's been like, what, 50 or 70 million dollars as opposed to the norm of 120 to 150 million for comic book movies. And yes, some of the dialogue can be clunky and some parts of the movie really feel like they've been rushed. But it was made with so much love and care for Mike Mignola's universe and the look and feel of his books that I can't help but love it. So you've got the Baba Yaga, you've got Hellboy in Mexico, you've got Captain Daimyo, and you've got Lobster Flippin' Johnson. And a whole bunch of other references that I'm not going to spoil for you, but I can very happily tell are very faithful to the comics. And then we have Mila Jovovich.
Oh, Mila Jovovich.
Man, I keep getting that wrong. And she was the perfect pick for Nimue, the main villain. The Blood Queen, as she's also known, is totally in line with her comic counterpart. And there's some really vicious scenes that she pulls off. However, again, I'm going to draw parallel with Del Toro's work. You won't see the amount of PG-13 goodness that you saw in Del Toro's movies. Here, it's proper violence, it's proper gore. You're going to see a lot of blood. You're going to be seeing body parts going all over the place. This is an R-rated movie. There's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of cursing, and this is definitely not a movie you're going to want to take your kids to, unlike, the Del Toro movies.
He's an asshole.
And that's what adds to its charm, and that's what I enjoyed about the movie, because if you read the comics, they are gory, they are totally adult content, nothing that you would call PG-13. Again, like I mentioned before, pacing is a problem with the movie, but you will find that they've crammed a lot of content into that hour, which if you enjoy the books, you'll be a big fan of. So keeping this review short, do I recommend this movie or not? If you're a fan of the Del Toro movies, not so much.
Are you serious?
But if you love the comics, you're going to enjoy this movie a great deal. There's so many references, and this is so much in line with the Blood Queen's narrative and story from the comic books that you're going to enjoy this movie fully. I'm going to give it a Critwy rating of 7 out of 10.
Okay, I'd appreciate a prophecy with more relatable stakes.
Oh, on a side note, don't forget to check out the post-credit scenes. There are 2 of those, and you'd really want to watch them. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. It was a short one, but we'll have more content coming soon. More reviews, not just of movies, but we'll also be talking about TV shows, video games, board games, and so much more from the world of pop culture. Bear with us. This is Critwy, coming to you from paintedfigs.com. See you soon.
This is not gonna work, because I'm a Capricorn and you're fucking